Welcome to day 1427 of What's You Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, sharing the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. And in 2020 and 2021, back and forth, because I am got my fingers in both worlds, both the online world and the offline world these days. Now, call this one Never Hear the End of It. Why? Because that was our idiom for Supersize Your Business today. Between now and the end of the year, I've switched from Christmas, which just was yesterday, to end of the year idioms because it is the end of 2021. Interesting year. I would say it's been a good year, but it's been a bizarre year. I thought 2020 was a crazy year, and 2021 has just been ridiculous and more chaotic and interesting. So never hear the end of it. I like this idiom. I like this expression. I don't like the feeling of never hearing the end of something, but I do like the idiom because it reminds me to not repeat things or repeat stories that I wouldn't want to be a part of or be repeated. Whenever we get together for the family holidays, it's always a kind of a, okay, what stories are we going to hear about ourselves this celebration? Because as kids, we all do funny things, right? And there's some stories that are shameful or embarrassing or it's just stuff we don't want to hear over and over again. If you ever made a mistake and people remind you of it constantly, if you ever did something, sometimes I'll hear about my relationships or my past relationship. I've been divorced since 2015, I think. So it's been a long time. But every once in a while, I'll still hear something about it at our family gatherings or something about, the pig egg story from when I was a kid. Now, yesterday was a great holiday celebration. It was just a couple of our families got together because, everybody's got their families and some people have to travel, some people don't. So it was just one of my sisters, her family, and then my family. Part of her family is, of course, far away. So there were just a few of us, but we got together and we have my 10-year-old granddaughter who just started really walking over the weekend. And so we heard a lot of fun stories about when our kids were little, and we shared those stories. So we didn't share any embarrassing stories, just cute, fun stories, which was really nice. And we like never hearing the end of the cute, fun stories from when we were kids. We don't necessarily want to hear the embarrassing ones or the incessant reminders of our failures of the past. Because we've all got them, right? We've all got successes and we've all got failures. But there's power in repeating stories as long as they're going to a new audience. I talked about this pretty in depth in Supersize Your Business today. So if you're curious about this idiom and how I would apply it to business or how you might apply it to business in different areas and aspects, you can check that out on Supersize Your Business page on Facebook, or I think I post it around, so you can find it on YouTube, you can find it on Facebook, you can find it on Instagram, you can find it on Reddit. There's all different spots that it ends up getting posted to. But I actually have to admit that I like the idiom and what it means. And I don't know that I've used it, I'm sure. Like I've said, am I ever going to hear the end of this story? I'm sure I've done that and pushed back on the stories that I don't like from childhood or at family gatherings or at work, right? Sometimes you'll have a boss. I had a boss who literally every other staff meeting, if not sometimes every staff meeting, we met at least once a week as a staff at this organization, would tell the same joke. And it's like, man, you got the same audience, same joke, get a clue, right? So sometimes stories should be repeated, and you can repeat your stories because forever and ever and ever, Russell Brunson taught me this, that as long as you're in front of a new audience, you want to be repeating your own stories because people won't get sick of them. However, if your audience remains mainly the same and you're telling the same story, what happens is we tend to tune it out. And so instead of people hearing the new messages to your story, unless I really consciously make myself listen to a story that I've heard before, Russell Brunson's would be an example of that. And even if he changes and tells different aspects of the story or beefs it up or improves it, I will have tuned it out before he gets to the changes, unless I totally make myself listen to it. And I suspect I'm not the only one that does that. So repeated stories to new audiences will always help you gain more more people, more followers, etc. But repeating the same story over and over again to the same audience will just turn them off and they'll tune out. And so we don't want to do that. Okay, that's enough about never hearing the end of it. our Get Up and Go challenge today was about confidence, and we used it and applied the SOAP framework and the tool of hypnosis or self-hypnosis to the SOAP framework with respect to our level of confidence. And I gave an example and talked through that. Again, Get Up and Go challenge, free 30-day challenge, Facebook page, Facebook group. You can look it up there, or you can message me and I can get you the link to it. But I don't know how long it was, but I feel like I talked too long. So I'll check when I go to process it and see how long it was. I try to keep every day of the Get Up and Go challenge, and I don't know when I started doing this. I'm probably several into it. This was our 10th free 30+ day challenge. Try to keep it to about 10 minutes or less so that people don't have to commit a ton of time to applying the strategy, learning the SOAP framework, and installing it in their subconscious, because the whole point is that you can use tools, apply them quickly and easily, and make them an automatic part of your life to continually get you better results without having it to make it a big, conscious, hard thing to do. So many times we as human beings overcomplicate everything. Anybody besides me ever do that? Anybody? It's amazing. We can take the simplest things and make them such a big deal and make them so difficult for ourselves, when usually all we have to do is do one thing. Take one step toward what we want, and then we'll start getting momentum and going toward it. But we'll talk ourselves out of taking that one step because everything isn't perfect, or we don't know everything we need to know. And it just slows us down and stops us. And then we start beating ourselves up and feeling bad that we haven't taken the step we knew we should have taken, 5 years ago in some circumstances. So, Get Up and Go challenge. Day 26 already. So we've only got about 5 days left of that. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. 5 days left of this Get Up and Go challenge, which will finish off this year. So our annual challenge, we're running to the end of that too. This year has been about getting to know ourselves better, doing one thing every day that centers us from this little journal book. I call it our All About You challenge. And today was the third part of a 3-part sayings day, which this book this year, this particular journal has several of those in. I don't remember the past 3 years, any of the previous 3-year annual challenges having, they'd have like 2 days that were related to the same saying, but this one actually has had several that were 3, which I find interesting. Doesn't matter, but this is not what we're going to base next year's annual challenge on. Next year's annual challenge is going to be different. It's going to be different. It's going to be interesting and different. My challenge in next year's annual challenge is to make it short and sweet and quick, something we can do every day like this, and commit to doing it every day. And not have it be something as simple as these little journal books. I use these because they were quick and simple. They allow me to work on an annual goal a teeny tiny bit every day, painlessly, right? There's no pain associated with any of these, except for the unplug for a weekend one, which I still haven't done. And I haven't committed my weekend yet to that. I'll have to decide after the new year which weekend I'm just going to shut everything down. That's actually a pretty big commitment in today's world, not have any electronics, which means, do I still get to use my coffee maker? That's an electronic coffee maker. We'll have to see. I guess it's our challenge, so we get to make the rules for ourselves. So I get to still have coffee, okay? If I can't have any computer, any TV, any phone, I'm going to at least need coffee and some books and magnifying glasses. And my challenge is with my vision, I need tools to make everyday functioning work for me. So I blow things up with magnifiers and things so that I can see and function. But we'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's a challenge, and I love a good challenge. So our annual challenge today was about loving and how that impacts our success. And that will be easy because I am hanging out with my amazing little, now walking, 10-month-old granddaughter, who is pretty soon going to be running, and I'm going to have to run to catch up with her. I'm going to have to start lifting weights and running. I don't run because I have a pacemaker, so I do not run. I haven't run since college, and except for after my children. And I tried to run once since I got my internal cardiac device, and I set it off twice, And so running is kind of, that was kind of my set point to say, maybe I don't need to run unless I'm being chased by a bear, right? Maybe then I would run, but otherwise you will not catch me running. Catch me walking all over the place, but probably not running. So that's all I've got today. I am excited to hang out with my granddaughter while everybody goes snowboarding and skiing. And there's not much snow here. We did get a little snow flurries yesterday, and I believe we're supposed to get some snow today, but only maybe a couple of inches. So nothing major like we had a couple of weeks ago. 20 inches in like a day. It's crazy. Crazy pretty. I was hoping it would have been that way for Christmas, but it wasn't a very white Christmas here. All right, if I can help you in any way, ask. Going to be laying a little low today, hanging out with the granddaughter, so I will have an opportunity to answer questions. If I hear my phone buzz, if I'm not by my phone, I might not. Otherwise, go out, make it an awesome day, and let's start getting ready for next year. Next year is going to be exciting. 2022 is going to be a year to remember in a positive way. I've already decided 2022 is going to be awesome in a positive way. Unlike my expectations that were... And 2020 was actually awesome. It just was freaking crazy. And 2021, I thought would be awesome. And the beginning was just like, you got to be kidding me, crazy. And 2021, you know, all the nonsense that's been going on politically and economically, it could drag you down if you choose to let it. I just don't let it. I say, I'm living my life. I'm creating the life I want. All you crazies, you do your thing. I'm going to do my thing. So you do you, I'll do me, and never the twain shall meet in most instances. All right, have an awesome day. If I can help you, ask. Otherwise, I'll be with you tomorrow. Bye.